Have you ever been in a room full of people, maybe even people who love you and care about you, and still felt completely alone in your pain? Have you ever had someone ask you, "How are you?" And your response was to smile and say, "I'm fine," when everything inside of you was falling apart? Have you ever prayed and believed and done everything that you know to do and still woke up the next morning feeling like nothing was changing? If that's you, I need you to know something right now. Before we go any further, you are not broken. You are not forgotten. And you are not disqualified. I started this channel for you. And in this video, I want to tell you exactly why. But more than the why, I want to give you something today. Something that most people never hear in their pain. They're never told. Something that shifted everything for me. And I believe it's going to help shift things for you today, before the end of this video. So stay with me to the end. And by the time we're done, you're going to leave with something real, something you can hold on to today. Not inspiration, not a pep talk, something real, something you can use today. I didn't come here as someone who had it all figured out. I came here as someone who survived things that could have ended me and found something on the other side worth giving away. So let me tell you who I am and where this calling really came from. My name is Dr. Victoria, and I want to be clear about something from the beginning of this channel. I'm not here because everything in my life went right. I'm not here because I have all the answers. I am here because I survived when things didn't go right, when I didn't have all the answers. I grew up as the youngest child in a single parent household. My parents divorced. My mom raised us. And so my dad wasn't in the home. He was not actually really in my life at all. And for many of you, I think you might understand what that does to a family, what that does to a child. There's wounds that get created in that space, and there's questions that form in a young person's heart in situations like that. Questions like, am I enough? Was I worth staying for? Does my life really matter? Especially being the youngest child. I know those questions. I live those questions. But here's what I also know. Even in that house, even in that situation, even without my father being there, who should have been there, God placed something in me that was beyond my years. Before I had a degree, before I had a title, before I had a single credential to hang on my wall, I had a purpose and a calling on my young life. See, as a teenager, I was able to encourage people, especially my family, my mom. I was able to give insight and speak into situations that I shouldn't have had the language for. I was able to speak words of faith and expectation to people that most kids don't even understand the need for at that age. And so my family at times would look to me for strength and insight and encouragement. And as they would come to me for encouragement, I would begin to give them hope. But I didn't choose that. God chose that. God put that in me. And what I've learned is that what God places in you, before you even have a name for it, before you have language for it, that most of the time is your calling. That's your purpose. But I need to tell you, I've had some losses. Because this is not a channel about a woman who has had an easy life and decided to be an encourager. That's not this channel. I lost my older cousin suddenly when I was in my early 20s. He was like a big brother to me. He was only 33 years old, but he passed away pretty instantly. And then just a few years later, I lost my mother suddenly of a heart attack. And then I lost my actual big brother. He was in a car accident, killed by a truck driver when he pulled over to the side of the road on the highway. 3 times I could have been defined by what I lost. All 3 times. I could have said, that's it. I can't survive after this. I can't move forward after this loss. There's no victory on the other side of this. I can't see the victory on the other side of this. God, are you here? Do you love me? But 3 times I chose differently. Not because I was strong, not because I had it all figured out, but because something in me, something God put in me a long time before I understood it, refused to let the losses be the final word. So I went on to earn my doctorate degree in theology. I became an educator, a minister, a counselor, a coach, a co-founder of a school, a business owner, a wife over 30 years to a man that I deeply love most of the time. But I need you to hear this, and I need you to hear it clearly. My degree, it didn't teach me how to grieve. My title did not teach me how to heal. My accomplishments did not teach me how to get up when everything in me wanted to stay down. Life taught me that. Loss taught me that. God taught me that. And here's the truth that I want to give you today. There's a scripture, Romans 8:37, that says, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. More than conquerors. Not just survivors. Not just people who barely made it, but more than conquerors. And I want you to understand what that actually means in real life. It does not mean that you won't face hard things. It does not mean that healing is going to be instant. It does not mean your pain is not real. That's not what it means. Even a paper cut takes time to heal. Even the smallest wound takes time. And the deeper ones, they take more time to heal. That's not your faith feeling. That's the reality of being human. But what it really means, what more than a conqueror really means in real life, it means that the hard things don't get to be the last chapter. Your loss does not get to be your identity. Your pain does not get to be your destiny. You were created for more than what happened to you. You were created to be victorious. And I didn't get that from a book. I lived it. I'm still living it today, right now. So here's what I want to tell you today. Before you close this video, before you move on to the next thing that you have going on today, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about your story. The story that you've been telling yourself about your life. Not the facts, the story. Because there is a difference between what happened to you and what you have been telling yourself, what you've already decided that it means about you. What happened to you may have been devastating. It may have been unfair. It may have been something that no one should ever have to go through. So I'm not going to tell you to get over it. I'm not going to minimize what you've been through. I'm not going to tell you to just think positive and it's going to be okay. I'm not going to tell you that. But what I am going to tell you is this. The story is not over. God's still writing your story. Whatever chapter you're in right now, loss, confusion, pain, feeling like you're stuck, feeling like there's no way out, there's no way through, you've been through too much, feeling like healing is for everybody else but you. That's not the final chapter. If I could ask you something today, if I may, Just do this one thing for yourself today. I want you to write down one thing that you're still believing that it's possible for you, that's possible for your life. Not everything, not a 5-year plan, just one thing. One flicker of hope, one thing that even in the middle of everything that you're going through right now, everything that you're walking through right now, you still believe that this may be possible for you. You haven't been able to let go of that thing that still comes to your mind and tugs on your heart. Write it down. And then this is what I want you to write next to it. I want you to write, this is not random. This is God. This is not random. This is God. And I want you to hold on to that declaration. So before I close this video, I want to speak something directly over you. And this is what I've always done for the people in my life since I was a teenager, sitting in that house that needed hope. And I'm not going to stop now. I want you to know that you're not broken. I want you to know that you're not forgotten. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified by what you have been through. You were built for more than this moment. You were built to handle things that would have stopped other people. You are more than a conqueror. You are an overcomer. And no matter what you have walked through, what you have been through, no matter what you have lost, no matter how long it's taking for your healing, you were created to be victorious. Say it with me. I want you to say it with me. I want you to hear yourself saying that out loud. I was created to be victorious. Come on, say it again. I was created to be victorious. Something happens when you begin to say that out loud. One more time. I was created to be victorious. That's not a slogan. That's not something that you just put on a t-shirt. That is the truth of who you really are. And this channel exists to remind you of that every single week. This channel, Victorious Living with Dr. Victoria, is going to be a place where we can talk about the real things, the real issues. We're going to talk about healing. We're going to talk about identity, purpose, grief, faith, wholeness, what it actually looks like to live a life that you were created to live. We're going to go into deep places that most people are afraid to step into and talk about. And we're going to bring truth into every single one of them. So if you've been looking for a place where your pain is taken seriously and your healing is taken seriously, you found it. And if you've been looking for someone who understands what it means to keep going when everything in you wanted to stop, you found her. So subscribe, come back, bring someone who needs this. And if this video found you today, I want you to know something. It was not by accident. You are exactly who I created this channel for. No matter what you've been through, you were created to live victorious. I'll see you in the next video.